And you guys might be wondering, why are we gonna do a recap on everything yesterday? You know, you guys were like repeating yourselves, or you guys were staying a long explanation, and I was told by told by people. I was told by them, and I was like, you know what? That's very true. We did, and I want to explain better, but in a way it's not gonna bore you guys, just more as in straight to the point. So first, personally, I want to stress on the 105s, and why I want to stress on the 105s, because I feel like even if I say it in a long explanation, let's say nobody really got that, everybody was kind of confused, everybody was kind of like, oh, well, it's kind of weird and everything how he was explaining it. Well, this time I'm just gonna get straight to the point. I'm not gonna like, oh, stress out everything. So we're gonna stress on 105s, then we're gonna stress about different uses of swords to use and elements and why that matters, but in a straight more point, and then you're gonna probably have gameplay of me doing it with fused, but it's kind of the same preference. So we're gonna do it straight to the point and more speedy. So for the Magatama crafting here, you know what I mean, you can get your Skyrim Magatama 105 recipe at I forgot where the spider is. I mean, not a spider, but there's this worm that's a really good, decent place. But let me first just stress on the 105s. So how 105s work? First you try to main a weapon. It'd be sword, it'd be dual swords, it'd be axe, it'd be staff, wand, bow, all those. You know what I mean? And you try to basically look this up on the wiki, and then basically go in there, look it up, and you're like, okay, I want Odachi. Boom. You know what I mean? Go Wicked Wolf, and then you basically look it up, and you go basically get the recipe. And you guys, then you basically go through that process. There's two ways of getting it, but the first way is most likely what you guys are going to do is go get the recipe, and then basically build it from this way. You know, get in the Ronin, get the Scorpion, get the Amara. If you're wondering where to get all these stuff, I did say it in my last stream, but I'm going to do more, like I said, more speed. So, by the way, Scorpion, you get it from Cat. You might be wondering where that is. Well, I will show you guys, but first I'm mostly just going to try to keep on doing a rundown. I will show all the places where the Scorpion goes, Ronin, and Amara. It's iffy, but I will try to show you guys that too. So, Skyrim 105 best way to work is sacrifice. Why you like sacrifice? What is that? It's a skill. It's a skill you use on a weapon, and you basically get rid of health just to hit more harder. Basically, that's basically the best rundown I can give you guys of that. So you basically using this move, and then you basically use your 105, and you try to use the element with your 105, and that means, let me go back here, let me show you guys what I mean, because I'm not gonna just have you guys confused or anything. So it should say right here, see, rank 5 sword skill 460, that's not an element, but fire element plus 10, but we sword users cannot use rain element. So if you go get a Dragonheart rainwater, it will not work with this 105 at all. You will be down an element, and it's not gonna work for you guys. It's gonna suck. It's gonna be like, oh dang, like why am I not hitting hard? Well, because you don't have rain. You have negative rain, so it's not gonna work. If you don't know what a rainwater is, I'm about to show you right now as I'm doing this. I'm hoping that I'm not going too fast, and I apologize if I am, but I'm trying to try something different, basically. Do it myself, not try to be so nervous, and just basically be more straightforward. So this weapon right here, as you can tell, see right here, this weapon right here would not be good to use with a sword user 105, because we are negative in rain. And you might be asking like, oh well, just because we're a little bit negative in rain doesn't mean we can't use it. Well, the problem is, even if you are negative in rain, even if you're like just that negative in rain or any other element, it kind of sucks, because that means that that means you don't get the full use of this weapon. So a setup that you guys, I did say, so we're gonna go to the places that I talked about to get these 105 mags. How am I doing so far, Spike?
Sorry, I was eating. You're doing pretty good.
Okay, that's good. Oh yeah, by the way, this is, I call him Seth, but I say Spike out of more respect, so no one, you know, but I can just call him Spike right now to respect him. But I'm trying to
call me Seth. It's all good.
Okay. I'm asking, the reason I asked Seth here is because he's one of the many people, he's one of the 2 people who told me about, hey, you should like just get straight to the point. Now I was like, okay. So that's why I made this recap for everybody who ever is watching right now. This is all for sword, basically. I'm gonna touch on other subjects, but I'm not gonna give you guys false information. I do have probably an at 105 thing I am going to do, which is gonna be very different for me. But I will be able to touch that subject because I have a friend who's at, and I also have like seen at so many times, and it's just I kind of get the gist of it. But with the recap, I'm gonna get straight to the point. I'm trying to get everything in a whole bunch and basically give it more. It's like a, you ever been at a seminar? Wow. If you ever been into a class and you had to like basically hurry up for seminar. Yeah, if you ever had to be in a seminar before, or a place where you had to speed up and get, it's like a cram session right now, guys. I'm just cramming in all the 105 knowledge into you. Welcome the person into the stream. How you doing? Hope you're having a good morning.
He's basically saying this is your college class to Onigiri one-handed sword.
Yeah, I really am.
We're not going to be taking this as slow as most of his videos are. We're going to try to kind of speed through it and get you straight to the details so that you can get out there and start grinding.
So this is where you get your scorpions right here, guys. This is where you get your scorpion right here. If you didn't see me, I will go back in like basically back way. I'm doing this reversed, but you can most definitely go back, rewind my stream, and be like, okay, this is where he went for scorpion. Okay, so I'm gonna go to where the Ronins are, the best places I know, because that's where a lot of people have gotten theirs or even bought off of another person. So that's why I'm gonna go there. I'm not saying it should be better for you. You might have to go down to the Ronin wiki and then look through all the places, and it's like, I was not getting it from there, go to a different place. Then do what makes you feel comfortable or alright. But I'm just gonna show you the 2 places where I got my Ronins because it helped me. And maybe, you know, you guys don't know this, and this is why I'm doing it for you guys, so I can just run through it and just show you. I don't know about anybody else. If you have a question, hold up, let me actually go to my stream so I can see what you guys are saying. I don't know if you guys are saying anything, but I do want to basically get to that point where I do see you. No, we should be good. Hopefully I did not miss anybody, but I am sorry if I did. Okay, I'm not. Yeah, right here. Cool. Now, if you guys want me to try to like do more of a detailed like run through, I did it last stream, and I know I repeat that, but I just want you guys to like try to check out both and see what I'm missing. If you have like a personal thing you want me to talk about in a way more detailed manner, just go ahead and type it in the comments, and I would definitely always try to check my comments, or just come in the stream and just basically, you know, talk to me one-on-one, or just catch me after the stream and be like, hey, I need this, can you at least, like, can you explain more about sword, or this and this and this. And I'm not gonna say I'm the best sword user, but I have a really good feeling I can help in sword areas. I'm not like numb in sword areas. I'm not like, oh, well, what is sword? No, I feel like I can help you guys. So I'm gonna help you. I'm gonna try my best. So this is where the Ronins are. Right here. This is the Zombies Crossing. It has, you know, it has its little group thing I brought up in the last stream. It says like some 1 through 5 hell, some other stuff. The reason I'm not about to tell you guys all that is because, again, we both have the same resources, and if you don't, then and you want me to tell you, I would probably like stop it a little bit and just like, okay, well, this is where it comes from. But that's one. I know War Bazooka is 1 through 5 hard. I know that for a fact. I've done it so many times. If I didn't know that, I'd be really bad. About to close out. No, I actually have something to press on with sword that I think a lot of sword users are missing. I've seen sword users try to use earth while they have low health. It won't work because, and you might be thinking, well, why does that matter? Because if you're using earth with a low health, you're not going to get your full damage with the earth while it has low health, because it has a bonus. It has a, if under remaining HP 35% attack, I mean 30 HP is 35%, then attack is 35 negative. That means it's not going to work. It's not going to be that good. You have to pull out your Flame Test, your Hana Nova, and then start attacking. That's how that's going to work. And why I'm bringing this up and so pressing is because we got to look at these stats before we start using these weapons so we can like actually do decent damage and hit it. Hello person who's watching the stream, if you have any questions, don't be afraid to put it down. I'm more than happy to answer questions. I would do my best. I do have my friend here. He's recently gotten through the beginning of the thing. Well, not recently, but he kind of has the same. He went through the beginning of the game. But as I touched on the earth, I touched on the Flame Nova. That's why I have a setup like, you know, 2 flame swords, one for beginning my full health and one for when my health gets low. And then I go for staff, like a stun staff. You guys don't know about that, then you're gonna have to check out the next stream, because if we went over it really detailed, and I know it sounds like a whole bunch of lazy work, and if you don't even want to listen to that, I'll basically do I'll do like a little small like kind of thing about it. It's mostly just this. I'm gonna just show you guys. I'm just gonna go do. I don't know if the wheels get stunned, but I know these guys do. Hold up, let me do this. Okay, that wasn't stunning, that was killing. Well, I will show you guys after I'm more explain sword. What's up?
How about we actually go into War Bazooka and show them what the dungeon is like, and you can explain the stun once we get to the boss.
I don't know if it stuns Tengu. Does it stun Tengu?
Yeah, but I don't think it stuns Tengu himself, but there's a bunch of the mobs in the back that we could try to farm the stun on.
Okay.
Just kind of show what the dungeon is and
Seth, are you the
how
extra?
the stun works.
Are you the extra person watching me right now? I feel like you are.
Actually, no. The stream isn't pulled up right now. I have the percentages pulled up.
I'm only
not percentages, but I have the Ronin information pulled up over here.
See, guys, the stun weapon. And you guys might be thinking, why would I use that? Well, you see how just one of my things just attacked as is just stun? Boom, easy. I don't know if you tapped that other person Seth that was stunned, but like as I'm stunning things, Seth can just come in there and run. You know what I mean? He could just come in there and just kill him. Easy boom. I'm not saying everybody has to do it, but that's just a little recap. I'm not about to keep on doing it, you know what I mean? I'm not about to tell you guys all about it. We did it in the last stream. So again, I don't have my health all the way down, but I'm just gonna do it like this, you know, just to show you guys. I'm not, you know, I'm a shower. I got you. Boom.
Look at all that damage.
Yes, honestly, Seth, I don't know how I feel about this like build. So I complained about it, but I'm probably gonna have to start like getting used to it.
I swear, if you redo your build again, I'm gonna have to fight you.
Dude, I'm a healing sword. It's weird. I swear.
But it's good.
Yeah. No. This is a different.
Sword has its own limitations. Since you're healing, you also have the support aspect. So if you're at an elemental disadvantage,
yeah,
you could still run in there and be useful to your team and not be downed all the time.
I just gotta find.
Because at the start game, elements really don't matter as much, but once you get closer to the end game, elements are basically all that matters. If you don't have the correct element when you go to fight a boss, it's the deciding factor if you can beat him or not.
You guys will all meet that, like, probably in Edo. Probably even before, probably even Ushu. Actually. No. I mean, I was right. I think Edo. I think Edo is where it counts. Or freaking, no.
I would say Ushu because the fire bosses there
Lucifer.
are
Lucifer.
very annoying.
Lucifer.
Yeah,
that's why.
Lucifer.
I mean, no, not Lucifer. No. Satan. When you go to Edo and then you go to Satan, that's why I say it matters. Because you can't just use any weapon. You have to use, if you use a lightning on him, then it's not going to work. Holy, it works.
That's true.
Very true. Also, there's, who is it? Who else? There's something else in Edo, but I don't know. So.
Elder?
Oh yeah, Elder. Elder's perfect example. So, a lot of people who don't know Elder is or don't like, he's not important anymore. He is a very amazing example because you'd get your what was that damage? Okay, anyway, you'd basically go all the way to do Elder. You do it, and you basically do all. You do all his dungeon, beat the boss, and then you try to pick up his mats, and that's how you build your old Garg. But now it's a new Garg. You just basically do the Garg, and you be done. But Elder's perfect because he does ice, he does fire, he does lightning, and you have to match the elements. It's like playing it's like mismatch. So currently, what we're doing, War Bazooka and talking, I do want to touch on the sore subject of. If this might be a little bit boring for you guys, well, when I say Princely's podcast, for anybody who's watching, I'm talking to you guys because I want to hear what you guys are saying, also give you guys information, anything you might get confused on, and I feel like that's the best way to do it sometimes. And if I repeat myself, I do apologize. I get nervous. But also, I just think that if I do, you guys might be like, it's boring, but you're like, oh, I watched his podcast, and that's it. I know, it's just, I kind of understand it, even though he was repeating himself so many times. Boom. And that's the way I want to, do it. I really don't like this damage, but I'm really sticking with it. I gotta really stop saying that. It's really getting on my nerves. Anyway,
you gotta really stop switching builds. You're never gonna know which build to run with if you keep changing them.
Well, no, the first build I had was mostly the meta sword. In Valetz's eyes, yeah,
I
was hitting a lot.
Switching off of that, the meta isn't always the best.
Yeah, it's very true. So guys,
actually, most of the time, the meta is kind of restricting what all you can do.
That is very true. That's why I'm trying to do the first healing sword build. Wow, okay, I'm okay with this. You know what? I might just stay with this. I hit a 10 point, you know what I mean? Not always, but I hit a 10 point. Anyway,
I swear
guys.
You're bipolar.
I am bipolar. Anyway, guys. I'm gonna get straight down to the point here. I said that before, but this is the recap. All right, so I hit most of the things I want to touch. I already did on the last stream. It was like exactly like 10 minutes or 6 minutes in the stream that I already did. But I was told that the confusing part of also what is it called? The confusing part of sword sometimes is the ornamentations, and I was like, wow, okay. So we're gonna talk about that. I'm not gonna basically go all detailed because there's more to ornamentations than just getting the right stuff. Also, there's an ornamentation you gotta choose. There's ornamentation, which ones to do, which ones not to do, basically. And there is more stuff I could probably do at least a 30 or an hour segment on that. Believe it or not. What do you think, Seth? Do you think I'm wrong, or you think that it could be an hour, 30 minutes?
Magatomas really are your deciding factor in the game. Without good Magatomas with good ornamentations on it, you really aren't going to get far later on. Right now, I have two 105s, which is decent for a starter build. 105s are definitely helpful to start off with, but I have no ornamentations on them yet, so they're not as strong as they could be. I could probably double my damage just putting the correct ornamentation on it.
So, if I will definitely do an ornamentation type of thing for you guys, probably right now or tomorrow. Well, later on today or tomorrow. It's one of those two because, again, it's called Onigiri Podcast Recap. I'm recapping on everything and going super fast and blah 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 blah. Yep, I said that because I don't want to repeat myself. I sound like a broken record, almost like my last stream, but I'm doing better. So another thing that I need to touch on 105 is I've already talked about the sacrifice. I've already talked about that. You guys might be asking about the stats. Don't look at this. Don't look at all my stats. But usually for the sword meta is 100 power, 100 det, 66 mine, 44 whiz, and 0 vit. Now, you guys might be saying, really? I had that stat. I was doing good with it. Might not be yours though. You gotta test out what works for you. I'm just telling you guys an idea or what could work. Test out what works for you. Test out how you feel, and tell me what you want to, like, you know, just talk to me. You might come up to me one day like, hey man, I did what you said. I didn't really like it. I'm like, okay, this is actually a good build too. You know, maybe you should bring it up. I'm like, oh, definitely, I will. I will definitely bring it up and tell everybody, hey, this is what this man used and it worked for him. And that's there's my build, which is healing. There's a crit and strength build, which I am going to get in detail right now because I've already talked about the mags and what to use for the mags and the elements for the mags. There's also more I will touch on that, but right now I'm going to touch on the stats. So a power and crit build. You guys might be asking what that is. Well, it's basically where you have a whole bunch of crits, and how you get crit is either from your doll, which is this. This is your accessories, but I say dolls. Mostly this is what you want, like a permanent slot. And this one doll, you know, this is a power type of build. The attack 15% plus a sword affinity 15%. Now, if I were to go with my other doll, it'd be an Ivyus, where I will show you after this dungeon. It'd basically be, you see, like, it gives me 10 plus crit, and bringing up my crit to 54, and I do a lot more crit, and sometimes. There's some sword users who do a lot of crit and do a lot of damage at the same time, and some sword users who go, oh, just do crit and bring Xiami to heal themselves, as you see mine. Mine is different from their builds, and I'm bringing myself and them into it because I'm showing that I do high damage and do crits, and sometimes I can heal rapidly in the same sense. And a lot of so here's where I'm going to tell you guys it gets tricky. For a sword user, we don't have a lot of moves that will basically do what Spear does. Basically, Spear is perfect for Xiami, basically, because you're using Whirlwind Thrust or Water Dragon Spear or Thunder Crack, and you do that a whole bunch of times. Basically, a restores of the HP when a critical hit is dealt, basically. So, meaning each crit you do with Whirlwind Thrust, Water Dragon Spear, or Thundercrack, you're basically getting health back. But with Sword, to be honest, we don't have a lot of skills that's going to basically help and give us that type of thing. But then I thought for a second, I'm giving you guys another idea of what to do if you guys are trying to go for a healing build. There's the tornado moves that we can use instead. We can use Fire Tornado, that would work perfectly for us. I'm going to test it out in this stream too today and try to show you guys what I mean. But spirits are mostly per se, I'm being back what I'm trying to say is spear was mostly the way to go for if you're trying to go use Shirami all the time. Sword users kind of used it, and sword users were like, you know what I mean? But we didn't have a lot of moves to basically use it or try to become better with it, you know what I mean? It was kind of hard and difficult for us. But that is the basically crit type of build I'm talking about. So the crit build is basically, you get a whole bunch of crits, and basically you slam Shirami on it. So crits are like, it's like the glowy up numbers. It's not the numbers that up show high, it's the numbers that show really like they pop up. The numbers that pop up are your crits, and if you get a lot of crits, then you try to go with Shami and everything. But if you're going for power, then you usually just stop on a whole bunch of 105s, go with the sword meta, and just use that. You know what I mean? You're basically just a power hitter. You're like a glass cannon, and you just hit hard like that. Now, that is the difference between a power and crit build, and I'm like between there basically. That's what I'm saying. With having these two different builds, it was so hard to actually bring them together, or either just use them at both same time, because you couldn't use 105 while using Shirami without losing so much damage, and it was so hard to use. Or if you did use Shirami, you're basically hitting, but you're trying to level up your Vanguard. When you try to level up your Vanguard, they would heal with the moves that Tapper used, the moves they use, and basically Zunko was a basically perfect example. So Shirami, and then you use Zunda Arrow Rain. There's Musashi. I forgot what moves that I've been seeing people use, but they were using the same move. They were using Shirami with that. So that's my estimation on crits and power build. I think that's, again, this is my opinion, but in the same sense, I'm more open to talk to anybody about it. Another build for Shirami would be Fuse, Shirami, and what was it? I don't know, but somebody told me a support. It was either Naruto or Sogi. I would do a different one. I would like do some test about it. But I know I wasn't using Senru Magatama. But that Senru Magatama is something I have that I'm using to my advantage to up my damage. So power crit build. Yep, I explained that. Just try to make sure I recap. Hello, person watching. Want you want to say hello to you. How you doing? What do you think, Seth? I went over the power. I went over the crit. I went over the 105 Magatamas. Sword, what to use.
How about the weapons?
I think I went over the weapons enough, but I do gotta touch on that subject of there's more than just
like go over some basic 105 weapons that people should want to run.
I don't ever one shot that, man. I don't care anyway. Basic sword weapons, like sword. What? Okay, I'm not with that.
Like for 105s, because we went over 105s and your setups that you want to run, so we're basically going for a 105 fan base almost.
Yeah.
We're trying to help people start their end game. Once you hit 105, that's the beginning of the end game. You start from there, you get your 105s, you go for your fuse, or if you're lucky, you can even get an event and go straight from 105s to knowledge mags. Knowledge mags are a amazing Magatama that you can get from events only, but they help with not only darkness, but skill force is incredibly higher, but the only downside to it is it does take a lot of durability to use. So your weapons won't last long, but they will hit really hard.
So, by the way, as you saying that, I have a thing to touch on that subject real quick. Magic knowledge has also restricted a lot of people's mindset of like, I'm never going to be that strong, I'm never going to get to that level. It's false. Let me tell you how a lot of people, some people got it and some people, other got it. So, you either get your 105s, you have a good ornamentations and everything, and you basically go ahead and go do the thing. Meaning, you'd have 105s, good ornamentation, you're hitting hard just like a fuse holder with accessories, having like Musashi or Zunko or Momotaro. and you go in there, you just start attacking. Basically, that's how it is. You would see your power difference. You just have to test out with people, or just test out how many like damage cap you hit, or how your damage differs from what you're usually doing, and how to like do that. As I'm saying, like what I just said, it's like you gotta test it against someone who you feel strong, and be like, okay, I'm hitting damage cap just as much as they do, or I'm hitting lower than they do. So I'm gonna need fuse. Fuse is a pushing barrier to make you stronger. That's what fuse is. So like, if you're feeling 105s isn't like you're not like content with 105, then you go to fuse. But if you feel like 105s you're doing well and you're actually hitting amazingly, then you can stick with 105s and hit the event dungeon. But if you feel like you're not going to be able to do it and it's like you're not hitting hard enough, then you go back to fuse. You go all the way to get fuse. So when he says it's like, it's not really, I'm not saying it's not hard to get. It would be a lot of grind. You have to grind it, and if fuse is even harder grind. It's just all about how you guys do it on a mentality. So Mega Knowledge has also created another meta though, in a way. Like if you don't have Mega Knowledge, you're weak. That's false. I broke that meta. I showed people that it can be broken. Like I use fuse. Some people use fuse, some people don't. And some people like has even like fuse whatever. You just get Mega Knowledge. I'm OP. No, you can all like I've used fuse and also shown the difference in the way. So it's just all about who you guys are. I think I've said it. I'm not trying to repeat myself, but as he was telling me about the 105 setup, I guess this is how I would do it. Earth, full health. Earth, I'm showing you guys the weapon as I'm saying it. Earth, full health when you have your fire weapon, and then you gotta, like I said before in the beginning of the stream, yada yada yada. I'm saying that because I'm not trying to be a broken record. If you have under remaining HP 35%, attack 35%, there should be, yeah. You guys are wondering like, why does that care for anything? Well, I don't want to decrease in my damage if I get 35% health, 35% health. So I'm switching my Flame Touch Johanna Nova, which actually gives me a buff. Gives me a buff whenever I have my health lowered. So that's what I'm gonna do. You know what I mean? But you guys might be like, well, I can use it all the way until 50% health. Well, then just switch to if under remaining HP 50%, rank 5 sword skill force is 20%, then use that weapon. You just switch off beginning health and then normal health, and then I use this for whenever I'm like trying to, for certain weapons I have. It's depending. Now, if you're going beginning 105s for sword, you're gonna try to get all the elements, but it's gonna be built differently. I'm gonna do a weapon build tutorial for each of them differently. So you're gonna try to get all the guards, which is, you know, Ice Touch Johanna, Thunder Touch Johanna. Why I'm not gonna do it's Ice Touch Johanna Rhyme and then Thunder Touch Johanna Storm. And you guys wondering why you're not gonna do it now? Because again, this is a recap, and 33 minutes is a perfect recap for me. If you watching, if you have any question, I'm more than happy to answer right now. The reason I'm just like pointing you out, I apologize, is because I feel like I repeated myself a lot in the 33 minute stream, but I'm glad that I did it fast. So that's what this is, and I think I'm done here. If this person doesn't have any question, boom. But I'm gonna probably just be doing dungeons with Seth here, and just running with him, and just, you know, wait for people to have questions or just talk about anything basically, because I want to do different tutorials on these type of weapons. A Thunder Touch, a Rhyme, like a whole Ice tutorial, a whole Thunder Touch tutorial, a whole Flame Touch tutorial. So it's gonna be like basically an element. Actually, it's gonna be Ice, Thunder, Fire. It might even be more different, like, you know what I mean, each weapon, because there's gonna be different things I want to put on there. Yeah, that's how I want to do it.
And each one of those probably should take about 20 or 30 minutes by the time we're done with it, because you have to go through and farm all of them to get the recipe, Now, gargoyles used to be actually decently difficult to get, but now you quite literally just need 2 materials and your recipe, and then the previous gargoyle weapon. So gargoyles are great now because you can, if you really want it, you can get all 3 of your hell version of gargoyles in one day. Now, it's going to take a lot of energy restoratives because the recipes can be a little bit annoying to get sometimes. But for the most part, they're really not that hard.
So, guys, I want to apologize if I've repeated myself, but I'm going to end it here, and I'm going to basically... I know I said I was going to keep it on, but I'm going to end it here because I don't want to say anything too repetitive. Again, this is a recap. That's all I wanted. So, if anyone, you guys are my familiar, comment, do all that stuff, talk to me whenever you want to. I do not mind taking in what you guys have to tell me. And if anybody hates on you guys, tell them to get off me. Tell them to get off you. That's all you gotta do. And I'm done.